as a glover, do you go up to people, or, you know, do people just see you giving a show and kind of walk up and ask you, like, what's the whole etiquette behind it?
For me at this point, like usually some people will like recognize me. So I don't usually go up to people and ask, because usually what'll start happening is one person will recognize me without gloves on, and then I'll give one light show. And then once people see me actually gloving, they'll be like, oh, I know who that girl is. She's, you know, the girl on the internet, on YouTube. I saw her somewhere doing that, you know. And then usually it just like continues. You know, as if you're a glover and you're, you know, new, you know, the best thing really to do is like what I would always do when I first started was I would just like, I'd pull out my gloves and I'd put them on, and I would just start like playing with my hands, and I would just let people come to me, and they will. And, you know, and that's usually the more like when you try to force it on people, like, you know, people don't usually want to, you know, and people are either in the mood or they're not, or they're just, you know, not into that, whatever it is. So usually I would just wait till people would come up to me, and it only takes like about 5 minutes before you start playing with your hands when someone's like, you know, and you know, starts like gesturing, and you're like, sure, I'll give you a light show, you know.
Right.
And I think as the viewer, it's important to like you know, there's nothing that makes a glover more insecure than when in the middle of it you just stand up. Like that, you know, that's just it, you know, and that's happened to me. That's happened to everyone at some point. And there's just, you know, especially if you're the one to ask, like, you know, you better like sit there the whole time. And if you're not enjoying it, just like suck it up and deal with it. You know what I mean? Or change your mind midway through, just like, but because that's just like the polite thing to do, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and like this, obviously like sometimes the state of the people too, like I'm sure you've seen literally everything at a show and things like that, but any good stories or memories of like giving a light show to somebody?
This one guy was like really, I don't even know, he was on another planet, but I thought I straight up like killed him. Like I don't even know, like he just like all of a sudden just like I'm just giving him a light show, and he was the one who asked me, you know. And then he just like he was sitting on the floor, and then he just like he was sitting cross-legged, and then he just like went backwards, like just fell backwards at one point. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, am I gonna have to call medical? You know, I'm like, check out. And then he just like he like popped up quickly and was like, no, that was awesome, keep going. And I was like, you know, man, I'm gonna stop now. Actually, that was a little scary, but that was I've seen all types of crazy stuff happen, but I remember that one because I was like, oop, did I? What? And you know, but he's great. Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, even because you kind of touch on it, obviously, like later in your career with everything, like a lot of people recognizing you, but how do you feel like most glovers feel like, because I always wonder as a viewer too, I'm like, does it get exhausting at some point? Because obviously you bring them, so you know you're going to give some, but at the end of the day, like what if you're literally bombarded and you can't even like enjoy the show because you're just giving one after the other? Like, is there a way to strike a balance between that?
Yeah, you know, and there's some, like, I know some people who've been like giving light shows for years, you know, like me, and they can like the minute they walk in the show, like they're like they can glove the whole night, you know, and like their knees and legs will be wrecked the next day, but like but I know people who do that. And you know, for me, like it's definitely finding a balance. I'll usually never say no to someone, you know, unless I'm like moving somewhere and someone's catching me like at kind of a like weird time. That's like probably the only, or usually in that case, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Can you just like follow me to the stage then, you know? But I try really hard not to say no, you know, or I'll say like, you know, I'll tell people like, give me 10 minutes, you know, so it's definitely like finding, cause it's like physical, you know, like you're kneeling, and sometimes, you know, like you're in gravel, you're in dirt, you know, there's all types of stuff you're, you know, so yeah.